Trump will halt the refugee program from countries considered to be terror hotspots until extreme vetting can be in place. I want to take a listen now to what he actually had to say with Sean Hannity last night.
We're going to have extreme vetting. We're going to have extreme vetting for people coming into our country, and if we think there's a problem, it's not going to be so easy for people to come in anymore. You look at what's gone on. I mean, we could just go one after another, but then you go to other countries and you look at Nice and you look at different places all over Europe and you look at what's happening with Germany. It's a mess. The crime is incredible. And we're just not going to let that happen here.
Joining us now is Zuhdi Jasser. Zuhdi, what do you make of that, the comments that President Trump had to say last night? And right now this ban, I think it's going to be 7 countries initially.
Well, I think, he's following through with what was talked about consistently in the campaign, and even folks like me that have significant interest with family in Syria who are trying to get out realize that there has to be a pause. There has to be a vetting mechanism against jihadists, against Islamists. We've only been vetting against terror groups, and what does that mean? There are many who have ideologies that support radical Islam that we're allowing in. And as he said, they're destabilizing Europe, and it's not really what the refugee issue is about. But having said that, I think we're not getting ahead of the messaging. The messaging should be, number 1, security. Number 2, not changing what America is, so it should be a pause. I was a little disappointed, Charles, that they're pausing Yemen, Libya, Iraq, but he said indefinite for Syria. I really don't get that. It should just be a pause for 180 days for all of them, and then restart what really America means.
I guess right now, in part because every time we see images of Syria, at least the war-torn parts of it, it's all rubble. I mean, it seems like it might be an impossible task at the moment, at least, to verify any sort of information. Hospitals have been, government buildings. You don't know what. I guess from a policing point of view, it'd be hard to be able to confirm any information on anyone coming out of Syria right now, wouldn't it?
Well, any of those countries, the resources of finding out the background.
But I mean,
on those
I'm talking about
hope,
blown like Aleppo is blown to bits. It's nothing but a big pile of rubble. If someone says, hey, I'm from Aleppo, I want to come into your country, it's going to take a long time before we can make sure that that person is safe.
Well, sure. That's why we need to set up a better vetting process. And I don't think, if anything, the fact that Aleppo is even more devastated makes it more of a humanitarian and ideological reason to bring those in seeking freedom, not those coming in that hate the West, that hate our system. There's 20 to 30% that want to come here that we shouldn't allow because they're ideological Islamists. But if anything, Syria's devastation makes it more of an issue if we're going to allow any refugees in, that we take them from Syria eventually after the pause.
Real quick,
it isn't a ban on Muslims.
Some people are saying we should not allow folks into the country who practice Sharia law, who believe in that because it would supersede their faith and belief in our U.S. Constitution. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I believe they should articulate that a little better. It's not about all Sharia. It's about Salafism. It's about jihadism. It's about those that believe the state should be dominated by public Sharia. Yes, the Sharia of Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria's radical Islamists, ISIS, etc. Yes, that is a problem. But we can't just say all Sharia, which involves prayers, fasting, personal family law, etc. So we have to get that language right, but they're exactly right. Those who believe in a theocratic state of Sharia are problems. Those that believe in freedom and liberty should be welcomed in our messaging as Americans.
Zuhdi, thank you very much. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.